I think this is time to go. Good morning, everyone. I am Commander Jérémy Bachelier, military fellow for the French Navy in the French Institute of International Relations, IFRI in short. I am your host today, and I am absolutely honored to moderate this roundtable about the naval rearmament with such a prestigious panel of experts. I would like to start with a short overview about the global situation. We have entered a new strategic cycle, which is characterized by the affirmation of new contesting powers, eager to revise the international order and by the increased risk of confrontation between states. In such a context, a naval combat appears as a plausible hypothesis that could arise in the context of a high-intensity conflict. The war in Ukraine recently completed this conviction with a naval blockade of the Ukrainian ports on the Black Sea, the firing of the caliber missiles from the sea, the capture of the Snake Island, or the sinking of the Moskva destroyer. So the return to this naval power strategy also finds its expression in a massive rearmament on a global scale, each country wishing to maintain a comparative advantage or at least limit its capacity gap. Over the period from 2008 to 2030, many states made a quantitative leap in terms of tonnage, with an important dynamism in the Indo-Pacific and in the Mediterranean regions, with an increase of 170% for Egypt, 166% for Israel, 138% for China, 120% for Algeria, 101% for South Korea, 40% for India and Malaysia, and 24% for Japan as examples. This increase in the format of the navies has also been accompanied by a qualitative move with the production of heavier and more versatile high-spectrum capacities, whether for warship, coastal defenses, naval aviation, or submarines. Beyond the increasing role of such capacities for strikes, reconnaissance, or targeting operations, there is also now the question for states of being able to control the seabed, including communication and energy transport, as recently underlined, as you know, during the Nord Stream event in the Baltic Sea. So now we have precisely around this virtual roundtable three experts regarding the naval rearmament. So please let me introduce them very shortly. First, Madame Catherine Warner, who is the director of the NATO Center for Maritime Research and Experimentation at La Spezia, Italy. Dr. Warner was previously the primary technical advisor to the Director, Operational Test and Evaluation within the US Office of the Secretary of Defense. Then Mr. Jean-François Ripoche, who is the Research, Technology and Innovation Director at the European Defense Agency, EDA. The EDA provides support to the member states and to the European Commission for the preparatory action on defense research, including its implementation and the research dimension of the European Defence Fund. And finally, last but not least, Mr. Nick Childs from the IISS, who is an expert of the maritime security and naval forces. He is responsible for the Institute's analysis of naval forces and maritime security and for the data on sea power capabilities published in the military balance. So I will now ask each panelist, please, to not exceed 15 to 20 minutes for each presentation in order to leave 25 to 30 minutes at the end for the Q&A session. I will also ask our audience, please, to ask the question in the dedicated questions box at the bottom right of your screen. And please specify for each of your questions if they are specifically addressed to one of our three experts or to all of them. So please let me start now with Madame Warner for a NATO perspective on the naval rearmament. Dr. Catherine Warner, if you are ready, the floor is now yours, please.
Thank you, Commander, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really honored to be here today representing NATO's research lab, CMRE, and to have the opportunity to share with you some of the new technologies the center has been developing for advancing the Alliance maritime capability and for maintaining the Alliance's technological edge. Just as background, for 60 years, the CMRE has been providing science and technology in support of NATO, and is currently a leading center for advances in autonomous unmanned vehicles for applications in warfare operations. Today, I'm going to give 3 separate examples of some of the advances that we're working on right now, both in anti-submarine warfare, mine countermeasures, and the impact of climate change. Let's see. Okay, so I just want to give one quick overview of sort of the strategic direction of our research. We, thanks to Commander Allied Command Transformation, the Supreme Allied Commander Transformation, SACT, has provided his guidance and direction through the Maritime S&T program of work, has provided resources for the center to develop our core capabilities using autonomous systems for anti-submarine warfare, mine countermeasures, and maritime ISR. While also developing enabling capabilities such as environmental awareness, underwater communications, interoperability, and command and control. SACT's vision is for collaborative, persistent, secure, networked, autonomous ASW, MCM, and maritime ISR capabilities. In 2021, ACT published the NATO Warfighting Capstone Concept and its implementation plan, which is set out in the Warfare Development Agenda. This builds on, updates, and expands SACT's vision for maritime S&T. And the NWCC is providing a foundation for warfare development up to 2040, and this is where the science and technology input is required the most. In addition, the NWCC being a vehicle for transformation and innovation, it is complemented by additional themes such as digital transformation and multi-domain operations. To support the development of MDO, ACT has produced an operational concept that was signed by both SHAPE and SACT recently.